Welcome to Dittofi. My name is Ugo and I'm a solutions architect for Dittofi. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a calendar picker to update a datetime column in your database. So we're going to use the same application, Abuja Directories. And as you can see, in our data model, we have this column called created at, and it has a data type of datetime. So we have the datetime data type. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try and update a particular directory listing to change the created at value in our data model. So I think the first step is to create a backend action. So in this app, we already have a backend action called update listing, and the update listing backend action is going to be triggered by an endpoint. And in the endpoint, as you can see, we already have the created at being passed, so you can just simply add it. You can just click add variable, and then you can type whatever you want to, whatever represents the row or the column of the data model. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pass the created at that we're passing to the endpoint to the update event. So we have an event that updates a data model, and as you can see, we already set it up here. So what we do is we simply click on choose a field, then we click on created at, and then we map it to what is being passed in the endpoint. So we go to the endpoint variables, and as you can see, we're passing the created at property to the endpoint. So we click OK, then we click save. All right, then we go to the front end. So we're going to create the UI to allow the user updates the created at record in our data model. So I created a page called update listing, and in the update listing page, we're going to add a new form group. So what I usually do is I'll copy the form group here, click on copy, and then paste after it, and then we can call this created at. Then we can map the text input. So we want the text input to be mapped to something that's going to be passed to the endpoint. So for the application, we created a custom model called single directory, and the single directory has multiple attributes that are similar to what we have in the data model, that's directory data model. So we're going to map it to the created at. Now in Dittofi, once you map a particular text input to a datetime kind of data or datetime data type, it automatically turns the text inputs into a calendar and time picker. So I'm going to show you after we build the app, and then so we'll double check. So when the submit button is clicked, or when the user clicks on the enter button, we are calling the update listing front end action. So we go to the front end action. We have to ensure that the created at is passed to the front end action. So we're going to run the backend endpoint, and we're going to pass the created at. So this was already done. You can just simply, once you're working with the run endpoint events, all you need to do is just simply add a new query variable that has been passed to the backend action. So I think we're in a good position to test this application. So we click on the build code. This shouldn't take up to 2 minutes. All right. So it's still building, almost done. Nice. So then we go to the Abuja directories, then we refresh the page. Alright, so now that we're in the update listing page, I'm going to demonstrate how the calendar picker works. So we click on the calendar icon. We can change the created ad to be on the 14th of February and maybe 1 a.m. Yeah, that's fine. And then we click on submit. Successfully updated. Then we can go back to the update listing, so we can just simply check. So as you can see, it was successfully updated to the 14th of February at 1 o'clock. And so that's about it. So I'm going to quickly do a recap. As you can see, what we achieved in this video was to be able to create a calendar picker so that the user can be able to update the date time of a particular record in a data model. So this data model that we have here has a date time column called created at, and then we have a backend action called update listing that takes in a query variable creates at with a data type of date time, as you can see, and then we pass the information to the update event. So the update event updates the database created at column with what's being passed into it, and then we get to the front end, and when we create a text input field and we bind it to a particular variable with a data type of date time. So this automatically creates a calendar component for us. And then when the user submits the form, the form is passed to the front end action called update listing, and the update listing simply triggers an endpoint, update listing endpoint, and passes the created at from the variable that we created, that we bound to the text input element. And then we tested it, and as you can see, the calendar component comes up, and we selected the 14th of February by 1 a.m. And so thank you for watching. Hope to see you in another video.